My childhood, my father, Dick Emery, was seldom off the television, doing comedy sketches based on characters which were slightly larger than life.
Awful. But I like you.
James Maynard, Kitchener-Lampwick.
James Maynard, Kitchener-Lampwick. How about one for the road?
There was Hetty.
Are you married?
Oh, you seem like a nice young man.
If he was like any of them, he was like the tramp he portrayed college. Worldly wise, he liked to think. Slightly breaking the rules. I think he rather liked the idea of that. You know, rules were made to be somewhat broken. Dad loved anything with an engine. Motorbikes, aeroplanes, boats. He had to go at anything that made a noise and went quickly.
We mustn't forget our helmets.
Being in this takes me right back to, you know, some of the cars he had. So different to everybody else's mum and dad's Ford Prefect or Popular. I mean, before all the cars and all that, my earliest memories were of growing up in the centre of London, around Shaftesbury Avenue, Cambridge Circus. Over there on the left-hand side is my old school, and we had a playground on the roof. We're coming up to the church I was taken to. For some reason, my mother decided that I ought to be vaguely religious, so I was taken to Sunday school here. And behind it is the flat where I grew up, or the site where the flat was. We moved to Thames Ditton in 1960 from London, and by that time, of course, my father's career was really going places. The move was supposed to be the spark of a new beginning for us, but after 2 years, the marriage had broken down completely, and divorce was in the air, so it was a bit sad, really. Oh gosh, this brings back memories. I haven't been back here for an awful long time. Goodness, I'm very nervous. Very nervous. Wow. Goodness me, I'm filling up now. Oh dear. Blimey. I can still see as it was. I remember the Christmas when we first came here. It was a lovely time. The few photographs that I have got of us together as a family were taken in this house, in that room. Ooh. I'd never thought I'd stand in this house again, ever. My parents divorced in 1962. The school was difficult around the time of the divorce. A lot of people were not as understanding in those days about a couple divorcing, and I certainly experienced quite a lot of bullying. You're marked out as being different because of the fame angle, because of what your father does, so you then become isolated again because of another facet of their lives. My mother was his third wife, has to be remembered. He was a bit of a serial husband. She never stopped him visiting. She encouraged me to go and see him. I mean, towards the end of his life, we became closer. I mean, when he died, he was 67. The aftermath of the funeral was strange and in a way quite hurtful. I got given a watch which subsequently expired, and a tape recorder which I can hardly lift, but I've been carrying it around rather like an albatross around my neck for years and years and years. Every time I've moved, it's come with me because I can't bear to get rid of it, because it was his.
Oh, thanks so much to Nick for sharing his memory.